choosing a major is extremely important because college is expensive and you don't want to keep switching majors like I did or getting multiple degrees. You really want to reflect on their interest and goals. Students have to think about what are you interested in? Are you passionate about it? And what are your goals for the future? What do they enjoy studying and learning about? And what are their long-term career aspirations? And they also, what I usually do is I give personality and career assessments to help them kind of guide their thinking, not to say, you should be a doctor, you should be a lawyer on this thing, but there's other aspects in those fields that they could look into. They need to also research majors and careers that align with those interests and goals. They need to look at majors that have coursework or like programs that appeal to them and research if there's job prospects and salaries that align with what they're looking for. Because right now we have a lot of students majoring in computer science. And as we know, the tech industry is falling apart. So students have to look beyond just computer science and maybe look into artificial intelligence, natural language processing. And then they also have to look into the college. Colleges offer lots of majors and programs, but they have to look at the location, the size, the culture of the campus, the resources, and especially right now, are there good internship opportunities available? Are there research opportunities available and networking opportunities available? And to find more about that, they need to attend college fairs or events, attend visits when they do have them available, talk to admissions representatives, and get an overall sense of what is available. And they can also talk to a counselor, a college counselor, or a mentor to help guide them through that process. One thing is the parents and students have to first make sure they're working in synergy together. And parents definitely and students need to make sure that the student is an academic fit. So they have to consider what's being offered and whether like the curriculum and course offerings and faculty expertise determine if that academic environment is a good fit for a student. Like maybe a student went to a very small high school and may still want to go to a very small college. So they have to look at that and see what the student to faculty ratio is. Then they also have to look at social fit. The social environment and campus culture of each college is very different, and they have to see if it aligns with their personality and interests and see what type of student body activities they have, how campus life is, because that's going to also affect their time that they're at school. Of course, location. If a student doesn't want to be in the snow, they don't want to go to school in Alaska or upstate New York. And parents also have to look at cost. Is it affordable for the student and family? They have to look at not just tuition and room and board, but also other things that may fall into a student's budget. They also have to look at the requirements for admission. They have to look at deadlines for each college, whether the student meets the minimum requirements and can meet the deadlines also. Do they take test scores? What are the average GPAs? Do they need essays, recommendations? And then, as we spoke prior, career prospects. Consider those prospects for what majors that people graduate from. Were they placed in a job? What were their employment rates? What salaries did they make? What alumni networks are available to get stronger career prospects when your child graduates? So of course, this is all very personal and based on individual needs and goals, but having the support of the parents and the synergy between each other will definitely help when going through this process. Yes, I'm glad you brought that up. Early on, because I've worked with like recently, I had one student who I've been working with since the seventh grade, and now his brother is going into high school. So I helped him get into his high school, and I'm helping his brother get into college. One thing I will tell parents is to make sure that their children are doing things outside of school, that they're not just focused strictly on academics and or just sports, because I've seen both, they need to have balance. They need to do volunteer work. They need to just spend time with friends and not to stress everything to be perfect, 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 because almost every student I've worked with in the past years, they all have over 4.0. They've all taken AP exams. They've all either are IB classes. They're all in the National Honor Society. Sometimes have them do something different. I had a student who started his own business while he was in school. So the pet peeve that I have is that sometimes parents can put a little too much pressure for perfection on their children, and they're not letting their children's own unique personality and interests show because they're kind of overshadowed. A lot of it will depend on the college, but I would say the main thing they're looking for is a variety of qualities and accomplishments when they do evaluate these applications. Because of course, they want to stand out. They want to make that positive impression on the college admissions officers. Of course, academic achievement, strong grades, challenging coursework, and of course, high test scores can demonstrate academic achievement for potential success, but also those extracurriculars like clubs, community service. And I've had students achieve time to have internships while they're either, on break or in the summertime because they want to see leadership demonstrations, teamwork, and commitment for personal growth. And of course, your awards and recognitions. And they don't have to be something like a publication or something that's, way out of the, just extreme, but just something that demonstrates that the student has talent and dedication. And then also, one thing I've noticed can really get admissions officers' eyes and make them look impressive are their essays and their personal statements, where they demonstrate critical thinking, creativity, and most importantly, self-awareness. And then, of course, their letters of recommendation that show insights on the student's character, their academic abilities, and potential for success. And what's becoming more prominent today is diversity and inclusivity. Because when students are demonstrating that commitment to diversity and inclusive type behaviors, such as some type of involvement in multicultural organizations, but they also have to be careful with this because I'll have a lot of students say, well, I'm just going to go volunteer in the inner city and make that look good on my resume. Don't do anything. I warn students, don't do anything that you are not passionate about or willing to continue to engage in after you leave high school and go into college, because the admissions officers want to see, are you willing to bring that and engage in a diversity prospects and contribute to making a more vibrant campus community. I can get to them early before they're like in the 11th grade, I will kind of guide them based upon their interests and their goals. Like the one student started his own ACT tutoring prep for the Chinese community where he lived and for Chinese immigrants because a lot of them did not speak English. So I would try to guide students to say, you have some strengths here. Let's try to make something else out of this that maybe they would not have seen and they can go like a different route instead of having that same, uniform application that I see a lot of times. Um, Number one is perfect grades. You have to have perfect grades and perfect test scores to get into a top university or college. They are important, but they're not the only factors. They're going to look at they're evaluating applications a lot more holistically now. And then I've also seen if you don't get into your top college, their future is ruined. And there's so many excellent colleges and universities that provide high quality education that can still lead to a successful career. I always tell my students that's a myth. Rejection from one college is not going to define your worth or your potential. And then we also have the legacy myth that it guarantees top admission to a college. I attended Cornell and my son did not get in. He got waitlisted. So legacy status can be a factor in the process, but it's not a guarantee, and schools are starting to pull away from legacy. And then another one I've seen is applying early decision or early action guarantees admission. In reality, they can improve your chances, but it doesn't guarantee it. They still look at the admission decisions are still based on the strength of the application and whether the student is a fit with the college. If they don't get like into that competitive major at a college or not accepted, they can consider an alternative major, look at other majors or programs I've had, because like at University of Michigan, computer science, they changed how you get in. So I'll tell students to go into the College of Liberal Science and Arts first and then transfer or meet with an academic advisor or a professor to discuss what else can align with their goals and interests. Research, of course, other colleges and universities that align with those interests. Make sure they're looking at location, the programs, culture, and the cost. And then sometimes I've had students have to go to junior college to improve their academic standing and then improve their chances of acceptance in the future.